We are back live from the Sportsplex here in beautiful Feasterville, Pennsylvania. My name is Al B, back for this exciting matchup with Deathnella.
That's right. I'm so excited to be back here for this as well. Been switching back and forth between the open and the female division, but I had a chance to see both Des Moines and the Attack Pack play their games yesterday, and wow, we are in for a treat.
A lot of times as announcers for these tournaments, you do so much derby and it kind of starts bleeding back together, and you get tired and you start and then when you get a game, you get a bout off, you're not, the last thing you're going to do is watch derby. I guarantee you there's 13 announcers on our teams, and except for the ones that are over there calling right now, by halftime 13 announcers will be watching this game because we've talked about it enough. I mean, you and I are the ones that are lucky enough to sit here and get to watch it and call it, yeah.
And we are seeing the number 2 and number 3 seeds up against each other. Of course, number 2, the Attack Pack. Number 3, the Des Moines Derby Brats, both coming up with fresh legs. They haven't skated in games, although we will be talking about a little bit of skater crossover coming into play. I know people on Twitter have been asking, hey, how many are playing in both divisions? Well, it turns out that Duval, which also is the Attack Pack, there is a lot of crossover, so we'll be getting to that in just a second.
Absolutely. And the winner of this bout, most importantly, the winner of this bout, the 2 and 3 seed,
yes,
the winner is going to face the number 1 seed, Diamond City Miners. That's, I mean, this is what you're here for.
This is what you're here for.
All the marbles.
You want to go to the finals, and in so many ways, we also have our fantastic stats and producer here, Iron Man.
Ironic,
not Iron Man. Jeez. He's like, I don't mind either, actually.
Ironically, he likes Iron Man too.
Yeah, he's okay with it. Ironic is going to help us out, and he was saying, you know, this is just more than anything. You want to have a chance to play in the finals. You're also guaranteed to place at least second.
Guaranteed.
So there's that. Guaranteed silver. Okay, let's get into our rosters quickly before the action gets underway. We'll start here with Des Moines, number 07, Jamet Jacob. Number 1-2 is your captain, Razor. Number 1-3, K-Boom. 1-8, Kill Billy. Number 2-3, Recnology. Number 306, Little Rebel. Number 333, that's Triple Threat. And number 4, Mad Hatter. Number 711, Miss Batitude. Number 3731, Enigma. And number 8, Muhammad Ali. Number 9, Dragonfire. And of course, for the Des Moines team, their coaches, Mark Muse, Anastasia Smith, and Michael McLaughlin.
And for the Attack Pack, the team in purple, it'll be number 101, Audrey Cantrell. 108, Childs. 120, the captain, Evil Apple. 123, Purple Warrior. 17, T-Rex. 20, Scully. 206, Road Rage. 212, Capozzi. 24, Solar Flare. 330, Buckeye Brawler. 413, Slidia Throat. 62, Olivia Glisson. 63, Noel. And number 9, Punky Bruiser.
And the coaches for the Attack Pack are Coach Bill, Payne, and Bones. Those are 3 separate people. And we'll have a very quick chance to mention our referees and NSOs perhaps once the gameplay gets underway. Al, you wanted to say something.
Yeah, once you started talking about it earlier, but the thing to watch in the first half, and it's going to definitely be a tale of 2 halves, because
definitely.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the skaters on this Attack Pack team are right now skating for Duval over on the female track. They have 16 minutes left, and you cannot play in a half unless you're there for equipment check. So
exactly.
they will, even though they finish, they cannot come over. So the second half, on one hand, maybe they'll get a chance to get rested up a little bit and get their legs back under them. And you got to see how it's going to. It was a gamble. It was a gamble. Coach Bill, how's it going to pay off now? Is it?
This is going to be the storyline. As you said, tale of 2 halves this first half. We have fresh skaters from both sides. They are playing a little short, though, with the Attack Pack, rather. And then for the second half, perhaps we'll see more skaters join, but they have a full game under their belt. And these games have been no cakewalk for any team in any division. It's been a hard-fought battle for every single jam. And there are actually 4 skaters. I believe I incorrectly marked your sheet there, Al. So that's Ari Cantrell. We have Buckeye Brawler, Olivia Glisson, and Null. They are the Duval skaters as well.
That was going to be my next point, is if you know anything about these skaters, and me being from the same state, I see these teams a lot, and these are not pushover. They're playing over there for a reason.
Oh, yes,
I mean, these kids are they're gym rats, and they're out to just really do this. We've already started the first jam of the night as Road Rage for the attack pack. I'm sorry.
That is triple threat for Des Moines.
Threat.
Now, though, as we see there, they have very similar colors. They're basically the inverse of one another. So Des Moines is in white, and the attack pack is wearing purple.
Triple threat coming out, putting up 5, getting 5 quick points.
Triple threat appears to have taken the helmet cover off. Did not do a star pass, just a stash there.
That was Road Rage.
That is Road Rage.
We've both done it now in the first
goodness.
jam. There you go. Now that that's out of the way.
Exactly. Just dust it off. We're very eager to get going with this game just to see how the storylines unfold. Des Moines attack pack just 1 seat apart.
You know, and it's these athletes, we've talked over and over again about the training and the level of athleticism and knowledge that they get from these adult skaters that come down and pick them. But there's got to be butterflies.
Oh,
I mean, I got butterflies just to get to be sitting where I'm sitting for this bout.
definitely. Such an honor and a privilege to be watching these skaters in action. And it appears that a very, very quick jam because those jammers were right back to back there.
Somebody to watch for the attack pack is the last couple years, especially she was in Lincoln in 2016 and then last year in Colorado, is you will find yourself saying the numbers 1, 2, 3 for Purple Warrior. For the attack pack, especially in this first half with the depletion of the skaters at for ball, Purple Warrior is going to have to step up and just be a threat.
Definitely.
And history shows that Purple Warrior, when Purple Warrior needs to be a threat, Purple Warrior is usually a threat.
Well, right now, Road Rage out again for the attack pack. Jam Jacob out for Des Moines. We could see some jammer matching as well, just to see, just to try to keep those points very close to one another.
You will hear the name Jamit Jacob a lot. I haven't seen Des Moines as much as I have the attack pack, but I've had a chance to call for them at some tournaments, and Jamit Jacob, you will hear that name a lot.
Well, it looks like Road Rage was able to squeak by with a point, even though basically deflected and got bumped off that jammer there on the outside of turn 3.
Both of these
2
teams,
points. Thank you, Ironic.
both of these teams came to Tampa to the Wrecking Hall for Spring Break Swarm, which is a tournament we do every year, a junior tournament.
Your eyes just lit up there, Al.
Oh.
Yeah. You could tell that you really enjoyed that event.
Ooh. Savannah was there as well, actually.
Yes, so a lot of familiarity for you. For me, it's just been a treat to get to know these skaters. Right now, Purple Warrior, you were just saying, out on the track. K-Boom for Des Moines. Remember, Des Moines is in white. The attack pack in purple. And it's Purple Warrior with lead. The pack starting to speed up. Hasn't really had much chance to slow down. I hear a high block penalty being assessed there to number 20 of the attack pack. That's Scully.
Yeah, you're going to need both of these teams, and so far throughout this weekend, penalties have been the deciding factor. Talking to both in coaching, and there's been a lot of them. There's been times, and it seems to be coming in droves. So for either of these teams, if you want to know who's going to be on the right end at the end, watch the penalty box.
That's such a good point, Al. That has been really kind of part of everyone's story so far this championship weekend. Just a bit of penalty spiraling here and there, and it always seems to cost skaters because it seems to come in pairs.
They have been not only pairs, they've been coming in bunches this weekend. Because
that's a good way to put it.
The game before us, it's the teams, River City and Savannah, were back and forth. And you look over, and one minute it was all filled with one team, and then as soon as you say something about it, it's filled with the other. So for whatever reason, they come in droves.
And we see Road Rage with triple threat again out there on Jammer matchup.
Triple threat with Lee Jam on the outside, big time. That is a one strong individual. He's
Definitely.
big, he's tall, he's strong, he's powerful. And we're going to find ourselves saying that a lot about a lot of these athletes.
They all are bringing just an incredible intensity. Des Moines trying to stop triple threat from making it out of the engagement zone. Couldn't quite do it. They seem to be playing defensively rather than trying to see if they can create a space for their pivot, who now has the star pass, or the star.
Big time move on by a triple threat, making it through that wall of purple.
Now Des Moines is set up on that turn. That can be a pretty difficult spot as a blocker, but then now they're bridging out, trying to extend the engagement zone. And a cut track being called on triple threat. So lead is lost, the jam will continue, and that gives
Road Rage the chance.
Well, there was a star pass, so that was passed to our pivot there, number 17, T-Rex. T-Rex is aging out, so this is the last JRDA championship for her.
Oh, stop it.
I know, I won't mention that. But she's making a name for herself, that's for sure, picking up 5 points on that pass. A lot of action happening in turn 3. Pack doesn't seem to want to move from that spot. And Road Rage back on. Or, sorry, not Road Rage, triple threat.
Team in white.
5 points for Des Moines there at the end. It's going to be going back and forth, Al, I can see that.
Yes, 31-17 in favor of Des Moines. 23:01 left to go here in the first period. Just for those of you watching at home trying to figure out whether it's 9:01 left on the female track where Duval is playing. So,
oh, goodness.
So that should 15 minutes. Gives them 15 minutes to get cleaned up a little bit, change, and
yes.
get ready. And it's can the attack pack that's here? Look, they're talented skaters. Can they keep it? Des Moines is a tough team. You can't. It's not. I'm not slighting the attack pack when you say can this depleted group.
It's a
it's
fair
the story
question.
It's no disrespect. Those of you in the attack pack, you know I love you. You're locals. We know it's.
But then you see moves like Jamit Jacob just pulled there on turn 1, a quick run up on the toe stops into a little apex jump to get by, already on a scoring pass. An initial now for the Purple Warrior. 4 points there for Des Moines. Now, Al, we were talking about penalties before. I think part of it too is, you know, you said, oh, butterflies. Sometimes it's all about that mental game. And if you start spiraling or a teammate starts spiraling, next thing you know, you're keeping each other company in the penalty box. And that can have a very devastating impact on a team.
You know, talk about spiraling. I hate to bring it up because, but the game before this was Savannah. Bones, who for 57 minutes of a 60-minute bout, while he was in, played absolute brilliant. And in the other 3 minutes and 2 jams had 5 penalties as a jammer. And it took the win. It was brutal to watch, and you felt bad for the kid. So, you see it.
Exactly. Now, Road Rage out there with his first lead of the game, followed by K-Boom. So we'll see if he's able to score on that.
I mentioned Purple Warrior earlier. Road Rage is another one that how Purple Warrior and you know what, that's the right way to put it. How
go.
Road Warrior goes, because it's Road Rage and Purple Warrior. How they go, so go the attack pack. And it's no slight when we keep talking about, and it's just a story to me, but it's not a slight of the attack pack when I say this. But if you look up and down this Des Moines,
Yes.
Des Moines lineup, you got Jamit Jacob jamming. Is ridiculous. Razor, triple threat, Mad Hatter, and then if you don't, I would hate when you're going to get hit by Enigma and Dragonfire and Miss Batitude. That's going to take a lot out of you over the course of a game.
Definitely.
As we have a track cut on number 12, that's Razor going to the penalty box for Des Moines.
Illegal contact, I believe our Ironic is showing us. Thank you for that. No need to apologize. We are in the thick of this moment here, and there's lots of obstructions in our view here. And that's why we have our handy-dandy producer.
Is he amazing or what?
He's great. And that is 5 points for Purple Warrior. Razor for Des Moines is, yes, in the penalty box. Standing now, though. And it has been released. And the pack spreading out around turns 3 into turn 4. Big hit on Purple Warrior there.
No, number 23, that's Recnology. Went to put a big hit on Purple Warrior, and it's almost like she pulled the wool out and hit her own teammate hard right there on the straightaway. All of a sudden, she went to hit, and Purple Warrior wasn't there anymore, and it went hip to hip. That big hard hit going on.
Now, I have witnessed even just a couple bouts back on the female side. There was quite a nasty teammate-on-teammate spill. For those at home, if you're not used to roller derby, nothing usually happens when it's a teammate-on-a-teammate in terms of, well, you don't really want a penalty on your own team as it is, but oftentimes that can just hurt and sting the heart a little bit there.
And probably cause some conversations on in the bench area going, what were you thinking? 35-31, 4-point bout, and this is exactly what we expected. And it looked like Des Moines was going to open up a little bit, and then Attack Pack comes back, and Road Rage. Let's check this out. Road Rage comes out, step into the line. Who is that for?
That appears to be Triple Threat. Certainly is. I see the 3s on the arm.
You go. We're going to see a lot of Triple Threat as well. He is a
And the
beast.
pack speeding up, definitely to the advantage of Triple Threat, though. I've talked about this before, Al. When you start speeding up the pack, you might think you're saving yourself, you know, a little bit of space with that, but you're basically creating a very easy pathway for a very skilled skater to weave through.
And normally I would agree.
Ah.
But like I said, they're down some people for this half.
That makes sense. Maybe they're employing a different strategy.
I'm telling you, if you've never called for Des Moines before, wait till you start seeing
the
hits
Enigma.
that miss Batitude and Enigma and Dragonfire and Recnology. And I mean, the hits just keep coming. I mean, it's.
I see what you're saying. So maybe playing to the strength of a stopped or a very slow pack isn't going to help you. You're just going to be pinballed around.
Look, nobody out there tell Coach Bill I said that. But the
I'm
man.
sure he won't be watching this feed at some point.
I know, but those of you that are, don't tell him. But the man is not smart. He is if he's doing something, normally it's not an accident. He is a pretty smart individual when it comes to roller derby. I don't want to tell him that because if he'll. So.
And for those at home, if you didn't catch, that was 2 knots.
Yes.
He's not smart.
I should run for. Never mind. I'm not going to say that.
Let's talk about our officials while we have a quick moment. Or is gameplay going to happen here? There is a timeout for Des Moines, so quick run through the referee lineup. Admiral Mayhem, Harry Pitfall, BMD, Zeb Roar, Tim the Ref, Steel City Kitty, Ref Metal, and Chefery.
The NSOs for this one is Emma Goldmangle, Mia Culprit, Professor Murder, Sarah Dactyl, Wendy Blessing, Becken Hater, Accidental Doll, Demon Mistress, and Jeff.
All right, and now there's a timeout for the attack pack. So switching up, a bit of a longer break there. And perhaps we're going to see the attack pack using their timeouts more. If you want to keep track of those timeouts, those are the bars underneath the names on your screen.
Jamet Jacob and Purple Warrior going to work 39-31 in favor of the team in white. That's Des Moines, Jamet Jacob.
And we do have a forearm penalty assessed to one of the skaters from the attack pack.
T2G12, that would be Capozzi.
And if you're keeping an eye on those jammers, which is hard because your eyes are likely going from left to right, right to left, they are just pushing at those angles, doing what you need to do to ensure that you don't get trapped in the tripods.
17 minutes left to go here in the first half, 43-31. As Des Moines puts 4 more up, it is a 12-point lead.
We're already going into Jam 11.
Fairly quick pace.
And we are seeing a start closer to the pivot line. We've seen this a couple times today. Oh, now they're toying around, shortening that space there.
Road Rage and Kaboom going to the jammer lines for their team. There's the whistle starting us off. Road Rage is going to try to cut into this Des Moines lead. Kaboom is going.
Kaboom only has 2 jammers that they're up against right now, but it's causing a lot of movement back and forth. Those 2 blockers holding the jammer. Now 3 blockers. Yeah.
Absolutely, that's impressive because if you can hold the other opposing team's jammer with 2 or 3, then you're freeing somebody up to go up and help your jammer to score some points.
Exactly, can allow for offense. And Des Moines right now still trying to work on that initial pass. The camera will be catching up soon there. We're on turn 3, and now we're being assessed lead nearly a minute into that jam.
Wow, that's called defense.
And we have Road Rage standing in the penalty box right now. K-Boom asking for some help, but team deciding it's better to goat one of the attack pack players. Oh, and a jammer penalty, a high block call on K-Boom. So we're switching those jammer penalties. A big hit by Enigma. It's a forearm call. And the jam is being called for an injury, I believe, there. So we'll just take a moment.
Yeah, this is not what Attack Pack needs. They like I said, they need Road Rage and Purple Warrior to carry the load for the jam. And there's other, look, this is a deep team. It sounds like I'm singing all the Des Moines praises, and people at home are going to be like, come on, man, we're right across the bay. It's not like that at all. I have much respect for both of these teams. But, wow,
I believe we're going to go for a bit of a break, and we'll be back with some more actions between the Attack Pack and Des Moines coming right up.
Absolutely.
Welcome back. You are watching the 2018 JRDA Champs. I'm Deathnella, joined by Albie. And we do want to bring you up to speed with what's happened so far in the Attack Pack and Des Moines game. As you can see from the screen, we are still in the first half. There's still 15 minutes and 20 seconds left. Gameplay will resume shortly. We did have an injury, though, and Albie, you wanted to explain what happened there.
Yes, for the Attack Pack, Road Rage, right before we signed off, Road Rage went down. He got hit by a forearm charged to a Des Moines player. That Des Moines player has been removed. Road Rage, at first, those of you in Florida and Road Rage's friends and family, at first he felt a little bit of tingly, and that's scary. And they made sure that they checked his back and neck out really good. By the time the ambulance came, yes, he has been taken, because by the time they came, he didn't have the tingling anymore, and he regained the feel, and there was not.
Yes.
But they're at the point now where they want to check for concussion symptoms, and they're just going to check him out to make sure that everything's all right.
And we do want to say a big thank you to our medical staff here on site. Of course, while they're working with any skater who has been taken off for an injury, there's no way that the game can continue to go. We need to have medical staff on hand for that. It's part of the reason why there was such a long stoppage. As we mentioned, the skater from Des Moines, that was 731 Enigma, has been removed from gameplay, so we will not be calling that number or name for the rest of the game. And we do want to say that number 206, Road Rage, had jammed 6 of the 11 jams in that first quarter of the game so far and scored 10 points. As you can see by the point differential that's still there on screen, it's been a close game. It's been a tough battle, and both of these teams really wanting to put their all out there. They are fighting for a chance to be in the final matchup tomorrow.
Yeah, it's there's a lot at stake here, and I certainly don't want to look. We were talking about this. It's almost like we're guilty back sitting there talking about the importance of Derby, because no, the importance is the safety of that young
Always.
man. Road Rage, I know him personally. I've called him for a few seasons, being from the area. So he's a good dude, and even if I didn't know him, that was just silly, because our first and foremost concerns are the safety of all the skaters. So, we're not belittling that fact, but we do. Look, we're back here. We're here to crown a champion, and now this adds a whole lot to the story, because the Duval skaters that just finished up, they still can't enter because they have to go through a equipment check at the half. So let's see how this is going to play out, because Enigma's gone for Des Moines. How's that going to affect them? Road Rage is gone for the Attack Pack. But we're back to Derby, and it's Purple Warrior and K-Boom. And I'm going to tell you what, I mentioned this early, because even at full health, you see a ridiculous amount of Purple Warrior a lot. And I have a feeling that young lady, wearing number 1, 2, 3, and a couple more of the key parts of the Attack Pack are going to be having to try to step up and take the load.
Yes, indeed, especially having seen that Road Rage did jam 6 of those 11 jams in the first quarter. Des Moines' jammer was in the box at the start of that jam, hence why we didn't see them line up. But now we have both jammers out there. Number 7-0 for Des Moines, who is Jamet Jacob, and number 212, Capozzi. And they're starting really close to one another, while the blockers are up at the pivot line, starting to speed things up.
8 points scored in that first for the Attack Pack. It's 47-38 as number 212, that's Capozzi. You'll probably see a lot of Capozzi now too, because you can't be all Purple Warrior. So this, and a very fast moving pace once again. The jammer's racing around.
Jammer calling it off while lying on the ground. So that was not called off for an injury, just flagged it down. And the referees are checking.
Slow getting up.
The referees, I must say, Al, in this tournament have been phenomenal. Just in regards to safety, they've made the call to call some things off, and that's always a difficult choice to make because they understand that it has a consequence in the game. So to make the decision, whether sometimes it is the player saying, yes, I need it called off, but sometimes it's just assessing that skater is not able to go back on the track.
Correct.
And we have triple threat out there for Des Moines, picking up lead rather quickly there on turn 3. The pack moving fast on the straightaway. Purple Warrior out again, as we saw, only having one jam rest. She's now out on her initial.
Triple threat trying to muscle through on the outside. Adding 2, he's going to stay on the front. Watch Purple Warrior before Purple Warrior gets to score any points. Quickly call it off. 4 more points for Des Moines. That is 51-39 with 12.5 minutes left to go here in the first half.
And Triple Threat looking rather confident as he called off that jam, was not paying any attention to what was right behind him, so knew that there weren't any incoming blockers to cause some trouble. But of course, when you're out there and you're in the engagement zone, you are at risk of getting hit. And we have 1, 2, 3 out once again. That is
to me, you gotta
Purple Warrior.
Yes, Purple Warrior and Razor for the teams. And I apologize, I didn't mean to interrupt. And there is Razor taking lead for Des Moines.
But very quickly, that pack once again now in the straightaway, trying to figure out how they want to set up on turn 3. Des Moines taking the front of the pack there, or rather the back.
What is it about turn 3?
It seems to be where all the action is today. It gives us a good view, though, Al, because, of course, it's closer to where we are.
It's going to be interesting to see the strategies that both coaches take. Des Moines is going to have to figure out the Enigma. We talked about the space that Enigma takes up, and not just space. I mean, he's a force to be reckoned with when he's in the pack. So Coach Mark's going to have to adjust to that. Let's see what Coach Bill is going to do, because you got to think all he wants to do is get to halftime at this point.
Exactly, and we see an interesting play happening, a sort of negative lap point there, because is that what happened, or did I miss that action there?
It's Capozzi and Jamet Jacob are up now. Jamet Jacob, I'm not sure exactly. He went around backwards, and now both of them are flying.
So it might be that Capozzi has to do an extra run through before she can get into her scoring pass through the pack there. Either way, Jamet Jacob has lead now. Took him a while to get there because of those little antics running back. And Capozzi fighting on her own, that very impressive Des Moines wall. Des Moines tripod feeling confident enough to release one of its skaters to be a little bit more like offense there for Jamet Jacob. Big hit by number 108 Childs, the attack pack. And Jamet Jacob out with 4 points there.
Capozzi taking the star, trying to very discreetly was trying to get it over to her pivot.
She is just getting stuck in there, but has not given up. Still trying to figure out a way to stop this jam, make it a little bit shorter here.
She is buried in that corner, and now the pivot for Des Moines. That is number 4. No, it's obviously not. Yes, Mad Hatter.
All right, and we're ironic passing us some notes here, and looks like the attack pack is only running 2 jammers at any time so far. So 212 replacing 206 in the rotation. Not surprising, of course, because they need to conserve some energy as well for that second half.
Absolutely.
We could see those 4 Duval skaters come over if they're ready by a check, by equipment check, or we may not.
Correct. That, again, those are Noel, Olivia Glisson, Buckeye Brawler, and Audrey Cantrell. So let's see how that plays out as the attack pack waits on them.
And Purple Warrior out first and with lead. Triple threat now about a half track behind her. The pack spreading out there between turns 1 and 2.
Purple Warrior quickly calling off the jam, getting 5 points and calling it off. And at this point, I know it's 61 to 39, now 43. It's early.
I know.
You don't need to get them all. Just get more than your opponent and call it off and do the right thing. So
it's almost hard to look at the score sometimes. I don't know. Just given the last 4 games I've seen today, Al, I don't want to put any stock in anything just yet. Of course, the points do matter, and everyone counts, especially at this level here at JRDA Champs. We have Solar Flare out jamming for the first time for the attack pack. Razor out for Des Moines. The attack pack proving to be difficult to get by, but Razor does it.
Razor, the captain of this Des Moines team.
And she gets by on that scoring trip through the pack, picks up 5 points. Solar Flare fighting through, using a lot of power, coming up against number 9 on Des Moines there, Dragonfire. Once again, the helmet cover coming off. Not sure if it'll be a pass or a stash. It looks to be a pass, yes, to the pivot there. And that's 5 points to Des Moines.
For a total of 10 for that jam, so it's 71 to 43 for the Des Moines over the attack packs. Just under 7 minutes left to play here in the first half.
And we see Purple Warrior on the line there up against Jamet Jacob. These two will likely get to know each other quite well in this game. The attack pack in purple, Des Moines in white. And these tripods, these walls, staying so close to one another. The pack really contained there between jammer and pivot lines.
Yeah, they go back and forth. 1 minute they're all racing out, spread out all over, like there's almost like there's no pack, and then the next minute they're all within like.
They're all sardined in there. And we did have a call on number 20 from the attack pack. That's Scully.
Scully is a missed presence in that pack when Scully is not in the pack, so that's important.
And we see 3 points picked up there for Des Moines.
You talked about the score a minute ago, and that's one thing that's it's unique to roller derby, because any other sport it's like, I mean, it's just not, but here, you know, you get 4 or 5 runs down in baseball, yeah, you're out, but you can still get a grand slam, get you back in here. But the thing about it is you can be. I've seen teams come back down from 70.
Oh yeah, we've seen it today.
Yeah, earlier it's Santa Cruz came back to win by 5, and they were down by 40 or 50 points early. So, look, there's a lot of, I mean, it's, and both of the, with the explosiveness on both of these rosters, no lead is safe, and none is unsurmountable either. So,
and Triple Threat opting to call that off. Of course, Purple Warrior was in front of him on the track, also pointing to a blocker that was in the penalty box, although I don't see that blocker there anymore, so not sure what happened there. It is interesting that these teams are seated so close. The attack pack number 2, Des Moines number 3, and they are wearing the inverse colors. So it just seems like they want to be together.
It took me a while to notice the dots on the scoreboard.
Exactly, I know. I see that now,
I kept getting the uniforms mixed up, and I'm going, oh, wow, look, the white dot. Womp, womp.
Still worth a mention, though, because sometimes when you come in on the game and you can't always see the faces, we see all the numbers and the colors. All right, we have Capozzi out there for the attack pack, and Razor, captain of Des Moines, coming up against just some impressive 2-skater blocking there. That was by number 20 Scully. And there was a star pass to number 17 T-Rex, who is also aging out this year. I think I may have mentioned that one before.
Yes.
And we have had people ask on Twitter about letting us know who is aging out, who's also playing in both divisions, because there are a number of skaters doing that. So if you have any questions for us, we might not always be able to get to it right away, but the best way to reach us is on Twitter with the hashtag #TalkToJRDA. That's the number 2. You can also hashtag any of your comments or questions with JRDA Champs.
There you go.
Okay, and we have an official timeout. We'll see how this runs. And a reminder that you are watching the 2018 Junior Roller Derby Association Championships live all weekend right here on WFTDA.tv. So stay tuned all weekend. There's 2 tracks of action. You're watching the Open Division. There's also the Female Division Championships, all hosted by JRDA and Philly Roller Derby.
Absolutely, and if that's not enough, if you feel like Monday and Tuesday, like after most Mondays and Tuesdays after tournaments, you start getting that derby's gone, and you start getting a little bit, oh, wait, you know what, let's just stick around and do Monday and Tuesday too.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
I kind of imagine it for those Harry Potter fans out there. It's like when you're done at Hogwarts and you have to go back to the Muggle world. That's probably what it feels like. So we did get some information from Ironic here. Lead jam so far. Attack Pack has 6. Des Moines 14, so that would likely be since our little break and play that we had there. Oh no, it would not be. That's for the half. Yes.
Yeah, that's for the half so far, right?
If I just do some quick maths, I would figure that out there.
You're good. You're good.
6 and 14, that's
Hold on,
20 jams so far.
Carry the 1. No. Number 1, 2, 3, Purple Warrior coming to the gym.
That's an easy number to remember.
Right?
I heard a tale once. Exactly. I heard a tale once, Al, that there was a referee team who played and they decided to use binary code numbers. And so every version was like 1001 or 0101, or just because they knew the challenge that poses for referees. So 1, 2, 3 or 07, those are the numbers of our jammers here. That's easy to know. Oh, Jamit Jacob lining up right behind Purple Warrior, trying to play a little bit sneaky possibly. Now it's got both of them stuck in the pack. Jamit Jacob knocked out there. And number 108, Childs, calling. Oh, and look at that. Looks like Jamit Jacob out with lead, almost getting an assist. Not quite, though, from the attack pack. It was more like a bump out into the open. And a big jump on those toe stops, getting Jamit Jacob around the outside. The pack action here for Purple Warrior still happening between the jam and pivot lines. Purple Warrior has the star in her hand. Her pivot is quite a ways up in front of her. Is she calling for help? Pack spreading out here on the straightaway. Oh, we did have a cut track penalty assessed to Jamet Jacobs, so there is no lead at this time. I'm not sure if Purple Warrior still has eligibility. I believe she does. She has not made it through on her initial pass yet. Now she has. Is she able to get lead? Not seeing it called by the referee.
Oh, lead was awarded to Jamet Jacobs.
Yes.
Before he got it.
I just wasn't sure if Purple Warrior was still eligible, but it doesn't look like it. So we'll be going. There's only 20 seconds left in the jam. 5 points there for the attack pack. And now the pack speeding up. Oh, and that's because Jamet Jacob made his entrance quietly.
Attack pack now going to try to stop him and slow him down through.
Big hit by Jamet Jacob there.
It looked like a back block, I think.
Yes, but once again, Al, it's tough to tell from where we are. And a good point, though, because I took some time to sit in the stands for some of the other games just to get a feel for how that view is. Hearing a lot of people, dismissing or disparaging calls. Yeah, well, it's hard to see, and everybody has a very different vantage. Those referees are trained to see the things up close, right beside the action.
Yeah, more often than not, I'm going to side with the official that's right there
Yes.
in front of it. So that's why even if I go, ooh, it didn't look like that, I usually just be quiet because,
It's hard to tell, and that's why we have official reviews, and it looks like Des Moines is going to use theirs. That's what the flashing little dot underneath their name is. Now it's flashing because if they win, they retain it. If they lose, well, they lose it.
Absolutely.
Des Moines crossing the century mark, and the attack pack sitting at 52 points. Pretty much the split that we saw in one of the games in the female division early on today, and that was the game you had mentioned where they rallied back and ended up winning. So when we say that no lead is safe, that's what we mean.
Yeah, it's definitely, look, this is, right now Des Moines is, first of all, I don't think anybody's real happy with the first half, just because the way everything
bizarre,
played out.
yes.
It was a very, but as a competitive side, as a coach, which that's what their job is to do, is to coach and figure out how to be as competitive. I think Coach Mark from Des Moines, he knows it's not a safe lead. You're still going to have to play. And Coach Bill he knows too. So, but you can bet that Coach Mark is trying to figure out how to open it up even more and put this away. As Triple Threat jumps out, gets lead jam for Des Moines.
And it does look like they lost that official review.
So they will lose their
Or
review.
perhaps they were just using it as a timeout. That can happen as well. Maybe Des Moines wanted to keep their 3. I'm not sure. We'll find out from Ironic, who just got back here. Meanwhile, the action happening now on turn 3. Number 17 T-Rex trying to hold up Triple Threat on that turn, but didn't quite make it. The attack back now taking a slower approach. And there was a star stash. Capozzi still with the star now, coming in for scoring trip through the pack. Triple Threat allowing that to go through despite having lead, and now calling it off. And that appears to be the half there, Al. So Des Moines at 113, the attack pack at 56. How are you feeling about this this half so far?
It's hard when you have that play stoppage to disrupt things. It's hard on us to kind of get refocused back into it. It's hard to the skaters.
Definitely.
A lot of the attack pack skaters are worried about their buddy that's at Road Rage that's in there.
Des Moines losing a skater as well.
Des Moines, yes. So there's a lot of stuff going, and it's hard to say. But bottom line is, at this skill level, can Des Moines come off and score 50 more real quick and put attack pack away? Yes, they can. Can attack pack come out here and put 30, 40, 50 up in the first 5 minutes and this be a tie game, especially with the help that they're going to have coming back from the Duval side? Yes, that can happen too. So, the second half is going to be an exciting half of Derby. Those of you out there that are wondering about road rage, what we'll do in the middle of this is these two will try to get all the information that we can get as far as about the game, penalties, and they'll go do our normal due diligence while I go try to find out what I can to give y'all the latest information. Because we gave you the latest information when we came back on the air, what we had, but there's still stuff going on that while we're talking to y'all. So we'll do all our jobs, and we will come back and see you right here on WFTDA TV. Or not. Hello and welcome back to the Sportsplex in Feasterville, Pennsylvania, where you are watching the 2018 Junior Roller Derby Association Championships live here on the Open Track Division. We're in game number 12, still with the Des Moines Derby Brats and the Attack Pack. I am Al B, and I am here with Deathnella.
Yes, and we had such a busy first half. We do recognize that there was a stop and play. There was a skater injury. Did you find out any more information on that?
There's not a whole lot of information. The common consensus of what I've heard, but this is not an official thing. I have heard that the tingling worried them, and they of course wanted to check for a concussion. But I heard information that it was leaning towards shoulder.
Okay.
A shoulder more than, and which is, I think that's the best case scenario. But that's just, I'm not the one with a hurt shoulder either, if that's what it is. But if I have people that are going to bring, if they get information while we're on the air for this feed, they will come and give us more information as we get it.
And we are speaking about the Attack Pack skater number 206 Road Rage. And heading into the second half, we could see some more skaters on the Attack Pack because they have some skaters doubling up in both divisions. And Duval had just finished skating when this this bout started. So now at the half, if they've been equipment checked, they should be able to skate. We'll let you know if that's the case. There were 4 skaters there that could be crossing over.
That would be Ari Cantrell, number 101. Look for that number. 330, Buckeye Brawler. 62, Olivia Glisson. And 63, Noel.
And then having a look at that first half, the Attack Pack, in terms of penalties, had 11 total. There's no skater with more than 3. Meanwhile, Des Moines managed to get 20 penalties that first half with number 9, that's Dragonfire, sitting at 5. And the rule as it goes is if you get 7, that is it for you. So something to take note of.
Yeah, but when we were talking about the size of some of the skaters, and not just size, but the space that you can take up in a pack, and that's
the perfect way to put that.
Is people like Enigma, Dragonfire, Recnology. If something happens, and that's a game changer, is my point. If number 9 Dragonfire fouls out, and so you're already down to Enigma, and now you're going to be down Dragonfire 2. If that happens, I'm certainly not. Look, Coach, I'm sure they're going to play that and try to make it as clean as possible where it doesn't happen. It's
an important storyline, and it's an important note to make there, Al, and the game is underway for the second half. Olivia Glisson, so yes, she did get her equipment check, and she's now back on, having already skated one entire game with Duval. She has lead triple threat right behind her. Coming up on the opposing jammers first at the back of the pack. And that he does pick up 2. This is where your positioning in the pack is so important. I know you know this, Al, but because the Attack Pack was lined up at the back and Des Moines was at the front, well, Olivia Glisson thought, I'm going to go for those points. Picked up 2, but the Attack Pack was able to sneak by with 3.
And you know what, look, this whole team, both of these teams are stacked. They're very talented skaters. But when you have 4 skaters of the caliber, it's got to be that bright star that, well, quite frankly, Attack Pack needs right now. I mean, Road Rage is a huge part of their team. So at least having these other 4 give them that shot in the arm. Let's see how it helps.
And we do have we had a cut track penalty assessed there to Purple Warrior. And she jammed a tremendous amount in that first jam, partly because they did lose Road Rage there. And quickly that became a 2-jammer rotation.
She will jam a tremendous amount to this
yes,
second half, too,
as well. Yes, it doesn't matter anyhow.
Jam
Jacob, yes, coming up on 2 and 3. Didn't mean to talk over you there. And he's able to get by without any need for offense there by his team, doing a quick little inside apex jump. And looks like the team is opting to take a power start. Purple Warrior is standing in the penalty box, though, so she'll have less than 10 seconds left on that penalty. And this can be effective, though, if you're looking to get lead, and that's how you control the jams. Des Moines having just more than double the amount of leads in the last half.
Look, both of these teams' strategies is going to be very much the same right now. Just get more. I mean, just you don't have to get them all at once. Nobody has to panic because there's plenty of time. So you just want to outscore your opponent and then be track awareness and be smart and know when to call it off and go to the next time, and that's what happened then. Kaboom and Purple Warrior going up to the jammer line and starting this jam as we are in the third jam of this second half.
Purple Warrior getting bounced around there, but now giving back what she's getting, picking up a lead while she's at it too. Number 8 from Des Moines going to sit down. That's Muhammad Ali.
Purple Warrior with a point pass one more time, getting 5 points.
And there is a star pass there to the captain, Razor, number 1-2. And a high block called on number 1-3 from Des Moines. That's K-Boom. And in legal contact, number 2-3, Recnology. So Des Moines will start with 2 skaters in the box. 3 skaters in the box? Yes. Thank you, Ironic. Ironic, our producer here, being able to keep just a closer eye from his vantage point.
The reason they have 3 in the box, even though one of them's not a jammer, is because one of them is standing and will be out in the next 10 seconds. So
really
normally you cannot have 3 blockers in the penalty box. But number 8, that is Muhammad Ali, is up and back on the track.
Olivia Glisson, meanwhile, trying to take note, trying to figure out what she needs to do, manages to get lead by taking that approach. Sometimes you do need to step back to move forward. Triple threat out there for Des Moines. Things moving very quickly, seeing that a lot when triple threat is out there. Just a fast-moving pack. Olivia Glisson being knocked out there by Recnology on turn 3. And the cowbells are just sounding off in the venue here.
More cowbell.
I was going to say that seems to be the mantra this weekend. Triple threat out on his initial, and Olivia Glisson knows that much, decides to call it. So much happening right now of officials talking to coaches and all the rest. Looks to be Purple Warrior lining up with Jamet Jacob. And the jam starts. Almost hard to hear that whistle there. And a big knockdown there on the pivot line. Jamet Jacob out with lead. And there's a whole lot happening there on turn 2 as well. Skaters calling for penalties, getting it. There was a jammer penalty called on Purple Warrior, a low block.
Pivot for attack pack is in the box as well. So 2 skaters for attack pack. As Jamet Jacob out there trying to work through. They look like, yep, and he's going to call it off. Number 36 also in the penalty box.
And we end the jam there with a pretty full penalty box there. Purple Warrior standing, pivot standing. And we have number 306 from Des Moines there as well, Little Rebel.
Yep. I called 36. Some of these uniforms, that was on the helmet. I just missed womp womp. All right, 23 minutes
okay.
and 19 seconds.
And
140 to 76 in favor of Des Moines. Purple Warrior now coming back into play. Triple threat trying to make things happen for Des Moines.
But gets knocked down to the inside and dragged out. That leaves room for Purple Warrior to grab lead.
Great job, Purple Warrior coming and getting lead out of the box. We've seen that a couple times this weekend for teams, and that is a tribute to the defensive play by these packs, able to hold up the opposing team jammer, especially one as talented and as much of a force as Triple Threat is, naturally he's a triple threat.
Yeah,
but,
living up to his name, Al.
Absolutely.
You make such a great point when it comes to blockers. They are oftentimes the ones who don't get all the glitz and glamour. They don't have a giant star on their head for you to easily spot, but they're doing so much work out there to limit the amount of scoring happening from the other team. There is an official review called by Des Moines. Attack Pack has 2 timeouts left. Des Moines has 3 timeouts. And we are going to introduce you to a guest right now. Al, I'm going to get you to handle the microphone situation here. Well, this is Electrocute Her. And Electra, you were able to take the announcer clinic this weekend, and you've been doing some calls.
Yeah, I have.
And how has that been going?
At first I was like really, really, really nervous, but at the end it ended up being like really fun, and I enjoyed it.
And just so our viewers know, can you tell us who you skate for and what you're doing here this weekend?
I skate for Darlings of Destruction down in Michigan, and I'm here because I visit my mom for the summer, and Coach Payne, our main coach, wanted us to get some experience.
Wow. So you are getting experience. You've done some really exciting calls.
Yeah.
What has that been like? I know you said you were nervous, but come on, like, you know what it's like being out on the track and having some of those butterflies. How did it feel when you were getting a chance to see the action and to call it?
It's very weird, actually. Like, it's almost like you want to be on the track, but at the same time you're having like a lot of fun talking about the game and experiencing it from like just absorbing the moment, I guess. Does that make sense?
That's a really great way to put it,
yeah.
I have to say. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep chatting during this official review, but then we're going to let you also watch the game. We're going to bring you in because your perspective is going to be just tremendous because you're in the Junior Roller Derby Association right now. You're skating. And how long have you been skating for?
About 2.5 years.
Okay.
Give or take.
And what is your favorite job to do out there? Do you have a favorite?
I like blocking. Jamming is a little bit harder for me because I have a hard time getting through sometimes, which is weird because I'm tall, but like I don't know, it's just kind of hard to get through, so I like blocking better.
So being here and actually getting to watch some of the game, are you picking up some style lessons? You going to try some stuff when you get back home?
Yeah. I think that I'm going to try to get a lot lower and like kind of lean on my teammates because I see that helps them a lot because they're like very close together, like literally a wall.
Yes. I know, even I'm looking at that. I also skate where I'm from, and there's nothing like seeing the talent out here right now and just the creative ways, right, that they're kind of forming those walls and doing it so quickly. So that's really interesting. And Al, we're going to have a moment here. How are you doing this weekend? Of course, you're interacting as well with a lot of this young talent behind the mic.
You know what? It's been so much fun, and I'm gonna take a second to shout out to Tool Time, because Tool Time came to me and JRDA when we were planning for this, and I was putting the announcer team together, and said, hey, I'd like to do an announcer clinic because so many junior teams don't have announcers, and so we weren't just wanting to teach the juniors, but we wanted to if adults wanted to come. I've had adults now talking to we did like little mini clinics for a couple of adults, because it's silly that junior roller derby is the future of our sport, and if you don't have an announcer, especially like next year if we do this again, it's been really fun and electrocute. I mean, it's been really neat to watch, and every time they go through the little class, they spend 45 minutes with Tool Time, which you know yourself that they deserve a reward if
Yeah.
you're spending 45 minutes in tool time.
We
But,
are definitely joking. Tool time, of course,
oh, yes,
being just such a
absolutely.
talent. But
Oh, he is. Yeah, he's
totally
a great
joking.
dude, and he's worked real hard. But you know what? You want to call some derby?
Sure.
Yes, you do.
yes, you do. You're going to
get-
jump in.
You two take this jam, and I'll be quiet
Oh,
for a
well,
minute.
thanks, Al. Okay, so let's have a look at who's lining up there, Electra. And I'll give you a roster so you know. so number 07 in white is Jamet Jacob. Picking up lead there. Oh, an attempt there by Purple Warrior. Gets through on the inside. That is not Purple Warrior. I believe that is Olivia Glisson. The name on our screen not showing that that is Olivia Glisson on as jammer. Has not made her initial trip through the pack yet. And that attack pack wall making things difficult for Jamet Jacob there on turn 3. And we do have Little Rebel on her way to the penalty box for Des Moines. And we're just having a moment here, seeing if a skater is okay. Some of the officials are taking a knee. That is standard practice in Derby when there is an injured skater. Just to go back a few moments, just got a note from Ironic here. There was an official review by Des Moines earlier, a block out of bounds on the jammer preventing an opportunity. There was not enough evidence, that's what the officials say, so the ruling stands and Des Moines loses their official review.
Thank you, Ironic.
And right now you're seeing the jammer timer standing on the track. That's just to indicate that there is an official timeout. And a big thank you as well to our non-skating officials, all of the officials, but the non-skating officials who are the quiet heroes behind the scenes doing all the scorekeeping, the penalty timing, the penalty tracking, the jam timing, and the rest.
All the volunteers. It does take a village to do this thing we
Certainly
call roller
does.
derby.
And we're going to hear the applause as number 108 from the attack pack. That's Childs. You can see her exiting the track there with some assistance from the medical team. All we know so far is that, of course, when there is an injury and play is stopped for it, that skater is required to sit out the next 3 jams. Now it'll be up to the officials to figure out what exactly happened. And LB, I recently took a ref clinic, and I gotta say, I really was curious to know what discussions happen in that huddle, because when you're not privy to whatever, you don't really know what's going on. They go through every single step and every different vantage point.
They're trying to decide what they're getting on their pizza later. Come on, man, we got pepperoni yesterday.
I was told that sometimes the discussion wanders there, but when it comes to things like this, no, they're looking at that. And Admiral Mayhem is the head ref, and it appears that everything is good to go forward for the next jam.
Purple Warrior and Triple Threat going to the Gemini lines for their team. Triple Threat jumps out to an immediate on the outside, taking lead. Purple Warrior now coming through. Now Triple Jet back, re-engaging with the pack, tries to go inside, bounces back, goes to the outside, makes it. Purple Warrior chasing around. And Triple Threat, because of Purple Warrior's position on the track, calling off the jam.
Able to get 4 points. Now, we did see both blockers from those teams released from the box. The penalty box is all clear to start the next jam. Things moving quickly here. Attack pack at 77, Des Moines at 158. Still 20 minutes and a half left in the second half of the game. And Electrocutor, what are you seeing right now that's really lighting you up?
I'm seeing a lot of teamwork. I know that teamwork is like the most important thing when you are out there, because if you're not sticking together and talking to each other, it just doesn't work out.
And that's such a great point to make, because there we see Olivia Glisson going out there with lead. She's going around the track on her own, but it's her teammates making that all possible. She decides to call it off. And when you talk about communication, you know as a skater, that doesn't always mean using words. There's other ways that you can communicate as well.
Yeah, sometimes when you're out on the floor and you don't want the other jammer to know what you are thinking, you'll either like get together and like make hand signals, or you'll like give them, your teammates, the look that like they're coming or they're trying to plan something, because usually your teammates will notify you if that happens, if they notice it.
Ari Contrail stepping to the jammer line for the attack pack. Triple threat for Des Moines. Triple threat jumps out. It looked like Cantrell was on the inside. Triple threat with a big blast on the outside. And now they're off to the races as both jammers are just flying. A very fast moving pack. These both skaters. Ooh, triple threat. Lots of hitting going on. Calling off the jam for Cantrell.
That was the first time we did see Ari out there. She, of course, having skated with Duval earlier, so making her first appearance this half for today with the attack pack. Of course, skating yesterday as well. So all said, you're looking at what, a combined 6 games at least for the weekend?
Oh yes, they'll all, because they'll a lot of times you're going to play. Every position is going to be played for ranked for. So if you finish 10th, it's because you finished 10th. You know, we don't. A lot of tournaments sometimes, especially
it's just by
at the
default.
upper level, you just because you're going to get you're going to play it all out. Big time move, Purple Warrior on the inside, 360 spin move, jumping out to lead jam.
Razor right behind her, like not even a quarter track. The pack moving so fast. And there is a penalty assessed to the attack pack pivot. So Electrocutor, what kind of advantage could one get if you start speeding things up?
If the pack starts speeding up, then it's going to make it harder for the other jammer to get to the pack to score the points. So when you're speeding up, you just have to make sure that you stay far away from the jammer, because then that's going to tire them out and they're going to want to call off the jam, which means no points.
Yeah, it's a really good assessment here. Albie is hand talking to me. We mentioned earlier that communication doesn't have to be words. All right, we are up into the next jam here. Jamet Jacob, Olivia Glisson again. We're seeing her. Jamet with lead.
So Executor, thank you. We appreciate you joining us, and hopefully you're going to come back tomorrow and do some calls with us, right? We'll give you some more jams, and we'll do that.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you very much, and I hope you're enjoying it, because we had a good time doing it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure tomorrow you're going to call more jams, though. You're going to call jams tomorrow.
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Cool. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you very much for joining us in the booth.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And that's the jam there. We have Des Moines with 2 extra points on top of 5 from earlier. The attack pack at 0 for that jam.
Bringing a total to 167.79 in favor of Des Moines. Still trying to get things rolling.
And now is a perfect time to introduce our next guest here on the broadcast call. It's Killer Vegan. I may have been saying your name a number of times this weekend already. You, of course, are skating in the tournament. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and who you skate for? Oh, hold on. We got to make sure your mic is on. That's on us.
I'm Killer Vegan, and I skate with the Gotham Girls Junior Roller Derby team. We played 2 games yesterday and a game today, and the experience being at Champs has been overwhelming, and I think a lot of skaters have really been bringing it to the track, and we're doing our best to bring it as well.
Now, I've actually caught you announcing over there on the house calls on the female division track. And you were saying something a little early about the last 3 games being somewhat insane.
Yes. The last 3 games over on the female track have all been very close games. Teams that we have not seen before at Champs and teams that we expect to play a certain way, that all of that is disregarded, and each game is very different. And I think that when you have a tournament with so many different players, you get to experience how every game plays out a certain way.
That's such a great observation, understanding that the play really adapts to who you're facing, and you've certainly seen that too. And now it looks like we are going to go into this. And Killer Vegan, I want your take on this, so let us know what you're seeing out there.
All right, so what I'm saying is a lot of very fast jammers, and the blockers are phenomenal, but oftentimes what we're seeing is that the blockers are not covering all the way to the lines, and that's allowing these very talented jammers to skate by and take what can be a risky run. It pays off and it works very well. A lot of blockers are very strong and powerful and know how to take on jammers one-on-one. They know how to cover the lines when they're by themselves or when they're with another partner. But oftentimes when offense comes in from the opposing team, the walls are getting broken up, and that's where jammers are coming in and scoring a lot of points.
Oh my goodness, can we just keep her forever, Al? Killer Vegan, your perspective is exactly what we're looking for, because you are playing in this tournament. You have been up against so many of these skaters as well. We have Olivia Glisson and Jamet Jacob on the line there.
All right. Yeah, as someone who has played both Attack Pack and Duval, which are very similar teams, I know that these players are very strong, and I know personally from experience, number 17, who is playing for Attack Pack right now, has definitely taken me out a number of times, and she is an amazing skater, and what she's doing on the track for these past couple of jams has been phenomenal. But I think that a lot of the today has been a very long day, and the skaters are getting tired, and I think that's where sloppy hits are coming in. But they're all doing amazing today. This is really phenomenal.
And we are hearing from Ironic, our producer, that there was a back block call. Was that the one, Ironic, was that assessed to number 07, Jamet Jacob? He's not listening to me because, of course, he does not have a headphone. So I will not bother him. I was just wondering who made that back block.
I believe the other jammer, the jammer on the jammer. But
Okay.
I didn't see any contact.
Interesting. Okay, so we'll get back to you on that one. So right now we have number 101, that's Ari Cantrell, who not even an hour ago was on the other track finishing up a game with Duval. That was on the female division. And Killer Vegan, I see Tool Time here jumping up and down, I believe bursting with pride. Getting a note over here that you are a beast.
Yay.
I have to concur
Great.
with that. So tell us a little bit about your announcing experience while there's this official timeout.
Almost none. I did do a house call yesterday, which was really fun. It was the Lost Anarchist and Duval game, which was very close as well.
Yes.
I am honestly amazed with how Los Anarchists has just made their way into champs with only one season. I know a lot of the skaters are experienced, but they've brought it here today and this entire weekend. But I do watch a lot of footage.
Yes.
I watch a lot of footage of Derby when I'm bored, so I don't know, I would see myself doing it in the future.
And what kind of perspective do you have as well when you get to see the action in that way where you have to then describe it to other people?
I think being a skater brings a certain perspective to watching Derby. I think that we can sympathize with the skaters on the track and have a more in-depth view of what they might be going through mentally, because we've all experienced good games and bad games. And I think that it's an advantage for people who are watching the live stream to see, oh, well, so-and-so makes a good point about this, maybe I should bring that to practice. And that's how I get a lot of feedback, is by watching live streams of the games that we've played. And personally, last year in Champs, Double H announced one of our games and gave amazing feedback. And I was like, guys,
Yes.
we got to do this.
Yeah, exactly. It's free feedback, too.
You were talking about the good and bad and knowing how they feel, and then you also were talking about Los Anarchists earlier. And when they they gave Duval their second loss of the season yesterday. And by the way, the first one came to Los Anarchists. We're the only team to beat Duval this season, and that was that had to be strong. And then, did you happen to watch Los Anarchists Santa Cruz?
I did. I honestly, I don't want to say that I was sympathizing so much, but I really was overwhelmed, and I did feel like I was going to cry at the end. I didn't feel like it was appropriate for me to cry because I think sometimes people are like, oh, you're just too dramatic. But it was, I don't know, I could totally see how these skaters are, they've been training for years and years and years, and it comes to this point where things just don't go as planned.
To go to their point, to finish, the reason I asked that question before I go back to Ari Cantrell and Jamet Jacob jamming for this team is Los Anarchists, they were up over a favored Santa Cruz team quite a bit. I'm talking about 40 and 50. And like we were talking about earlier, the score changing like that, Santa Cruz came back and beat them by 5. So it was just the good and the bad. Los Anarchists, it played exactly to what you were talking about, the both feelings. So that's pretty cool.
And Jamet Jacob ending up, oh, I thought he was on his way to the penalty box, but he was not. Off to the bench. We have a triple threat on the line there with the 1, 2, 3. Purple Warrior, yes.
13 minutes and 10 seconds left to go here in the bout. 167 Des Moines, 90 attack pack. Both teams got to start figuring, well, you got to start making stuff happen, and if you're the attack pack. They don't have to rush it, but you got to start moving in that direction to close the gap. I mean, you've got 13 minutes, and a lot can happen in 13 minutes. But triple threat flying around the pack around the track takes lead jam. Purple Warrior with a spin move on the inside coming out of turn number 3. 2. Triple threat calling off the jam.
So Killer Vegan, when you're in a position, we might as well ask you, when you're in a position where you are down, you still have 12 minutes left. What does 12 minutes feel like in a game, especially at the JRDA level where things move so quickly?
I think it's really intense today. Earlier we played FOCO and we were down a pretty significant number during the first half, but during the second half we made our way and we were 10 points behind them and we had one last jam and we really thought that we had it, but we didn't. And I think that a lot rides on that last jam, but I think acceptance is a really big part of Derby, and being able to rewatch footage and know where you went wrong to bring that back to practice and to say, this is what I need to work on to be a better skater, is a big part of being a better skater, is knowing how to progress and not being stuck on failures. Or not failures, sorry. Mistakes.
Learning opportunities. All right, Jamet Jacob out there, pushing through, breaking through. Big pass there. Des Moines putting on the points. The attack pack now with a star stash. Olivia Glisson still has it. That's only her initial now. Ooh.
Glisson's coming around now. Ooh.
That was a bit of a belly flop onto the track surface there on turn 3. Still able to quickly call it off.
Miss Batitude was coming back on the track and then it ended, so she will be going back. It's 10:55. So, Killer Vegan, when does Gotham play tomorrow?
Tomorrow we will be playing at 12 against Duval. We have played them earlier this season, and we lost. So I'm very excited to see how this goes because FOCO had played a really good game with Angel City, who was ranked pretty high, and I came into it thinking, oh, we're definitely going to lose by a lot, but we played a really good game against them, and I just want to play my best game. That's what's important to me.
So you play at noon.
Yes, at noon.
And then you're done for the day?
I believe so. Tomorrow's the last day, right?
I'm sorry, Al. I think what she means is she's going to be coming on with the microphone.
See, I've got a schedule to do tonight. I have a schedule to do tonight for an announce team.
Yes, I will be there.
So,
I will be there.
I think that, I think she's comfortable enough to where we might can give her like a full half maybe with Nella or myself.
It's so much fun.
I will not complain about that.
Let's do some. We'll talk after this with this battle, okay?
Because we do have a really full day tomorrow, Sunday here on WFTDA.tv. We start early as always. This is the open division here. 9 a.m. Quad City against California. Then 11, Tampa against the Sirens. At 1 o'clock, Philly and River City. And at 3, we're still going to figure out the who's going to be playing that game. But the big final, of course, this is what these teams are playing for right now. A matchup against Diamond City Miners. They, of course, the top seed, making it into that final. And that'll be at 6 o'clock tomorrow.
And then we'll have awards and stuff and give out give out the awards that they win. And tournament head hat again. So what you doing Monday?
Oh, sadly, no, I would love to be here for World Cup. I really, really would. But I'm actually going to Ecuador for some backpacking. So
Wow.
yeah, I'm already packed. I am going straight there. Yeah.
Well, that's quite a summer.
Yes.
This will be a summer you'll never forget,
No,
Kayla
I
Vegan.
will never forget this
The summer you went to JRDA champs and then backpacking in Ecuador right away.
Yes.
My goodness.
So
My
I think I'm
goodness.
just going to take a rain check on the World Cup. I'm going to go with her to Ecuador.
No.
Yes.
Well, if you do get a chance, maybe, I know you're probably not, but maybe if you can get a hold of a stream, we are streaming it live for free both days. That's at twitch.tv/WFTDA. And that goes for you at home as well if you are watching some great action. Monday will be that exciting round robin Al was telling you about earlier, where all the teams play one another, abbreviated 30-minute games. I actually love that format. Gives you a little quick taste of all the good things
it's going to be
come.
cool too, because as announcers, we go the team cuts in half because a lot of people have to go back. But so we'll have 8 of us with. It's double the amount of games, so we'll like come to a 30-minute game and then go and then come back, and we'll be able to switch up and have a lot of different matchups. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It also gives announcers a chance to actually see all the skaters sort of in one day before you get to the big finals and the big finale on Tuesday. I really like that structure. I saw that structure at Battle of the All-Stars earlier this year, also in Philly or in this nearby area. And it can work really well, especially in that round-robin format. Also allows the skaters to stay really fresh for the next day, too.
So, Killer,
Yes.
as much as we appreciate you, we're not going to dominate your time anymore. But as long as you're going to promise me a half tomorrow.
Yes.
All right.
In it.
Thank you very much for joining us. I'm sure everybody out there, I just sitting when you started talking and just started, I'm speechless. I appreciate your point of view and I need to go shake your parents' hands because I'm impressed.
We always talk about the future of roller derby being JRDA. Well, that goes for the future of announcing and broadcasting. It's all there. Roller derby has set itself up with a great investment here in this town. So it was really an honor to get to chat with you today and hopefully tomorrow as well.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you very much.
And we are still on an official timeout. Ironic, our producer, headed down there into the track space to figure out what's going on. He's been an incredible producer so far. And you know what, Al? This is a really great time to remind everybody about the roller derby to come. We've talked about the World Cup Monday, Tuesday, but also all the Continental Cups coming up as well.
Yes, absolutely. The Continental Cups, the 2018 WFTDA Continental Cups will be streamed live on WFTDA TV, starting with North American East from Kalamazoo, Michigan, on August 17th through the 19th, hosted by the Kalamazoo Derby Darlings. After that, we head to Omaha, Nebraska for the North American West for our 2018 WFTDA Continental Cup hosted by the Omaha Roller Girls, August 24th through 26th. And the final Continental Cup will be in Europe, hosted by the Birmingham Blitz Dames on October 27th through the 28th. Watch passes go on sale July 30th, so stay tuned.
And right now, triple threat with lead up on a scoring trip through the pack. And what the word that we got from Ironic, and that works as things get underway here, but the word from Ironic was that we don't quite know the details, but there was a bench coach penalty assessed to the attack pack.
Ooh, and we do not have details, or we would give them to you.
Thank you for that, Ironic. Having to run up and down stairs, making things happen here.
Dude, you know what? Killing it.
Yeah. He had to check his pulse there for a second. All right, we have Purple Warrior and K-Boom out jamming. Under 10 minutes left in the game. Des Moines with lead. Purple Warrior with a cut track penalty assessed. Not sure what her penalty count is. I know that coming in, Attack Pack actually had fewer penalties than Des Moines, with no skater having more than 3. And number 07, Jamet Jacob, is on the line. And we can hear some of our other announcers having a grand old time down there. That's George Carnage and Schwarmageddon.
Hey, yep, that is them doing the house call on this same bout that we are talking. It sounds like they're having too much fun down there. I don't know. I don't get it.
Well, we were having a great time. It was so great, Al, to get those guest announcers on, just to see the talent rising. It fills my heart with a lot of warmth.
You know, keep in mind is neither one of them have ever been on a microphone before before yesterday.
And they sound just so natural and amazing.
Oh, wow.
And you can see that same natural ability and skill coming through on the track for all the skaters out there right now. Jamet Jacob with lead. Wow, look at that, number 17 on the Attack Pack T-Rex. Hop, skipping, and jumping over the jammer, no problem. Those tripods set up there to try to capture the jammer. Des Moines trying to provide offense. Jamet Jacob spins out. That has been one of the storylines that we're seeing at all these high-level teams. A back block penalty assessed, though, to Purple Warrior.
Purple Warrior had just got out of the box and now went back for the back block.
And manages to do a little lateral movements coming through and some toe stop running to get by for 5 points.
Seems like she's had a few more penalties than normal as of late. I'm curious to see where she stood. Now before coming into this half, none of the Attack Pack had over 3.
Exactly.
But it goes to reason that she could have been one of those with 3 because she spent so much time on the track. We've already acknowledged that how much she jammed, and
yes.
So I'd say okay, that's 3. Well, I know she's been 2 or 3 times this half, so she's got to be getting close.
And that's what our producer Ironic has gone down to check right now. We're seeing some officials running into the middle, but it looks like gameplay is on for this jam. And Triple Threat is standing. Oh, but I do
that's
believe
T-Rex, number 17.
T-Rex,
so
number
it wasn't Purple Warrior, but
there's still over 6 minutes left in this half, and 6 minutes can go a long way.
it does appear that T-Rex, number 17, has received her 7th penalty and will be fouling out. She is standing behind the penalty box.
And that's T-Rex from the Attack Pack. The momentum in this game, Al, has been quite bizarre because we've had so many stop-starts, the half, the long official reviews, and that can also contribute sometimes to just that mental game. Killer Vegan was talking about it, knowing how to let go, knowing how to reset yourself once you're in the box to then come out with force. And we are being joined by Tool Time. We'd like to bring him in. He, of course, leading that young talent this weekend with an incredible announcer clinic. And what a good time for you to be here. There is an official timeout.
I don't know what maniac put me in charge of a juniors announcing clinic, but he needs to get diagnosed real quick.
And for those at home, that's Albie.
That said, I've been getting a lot of people to be, Al, thanks for having a junior clinic, announcer clinic for us, and we really appreciate it. And wow, it must have been a lot. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I was putting together a tournament crew,
Yes.
and in the middle of that, a young and very talented up-and-coming announcing star from Jacksonville called me and said, "Hey, can we do an announcer clinic?" And I went, "Sure, I guess." And ever since then, I'm like, what in the world did he get me into? But Tool Time, my hat's off to you, sir. You absolutely killed it. You've been you just, bro. And then when these two skaters got up here and started talking, and the knowledge and the perspective for them, and they've obviously talked to you enough, and I've heard their calls over the last 2 days. So thank you, sir. Congratulations.
Stop. You're making me blush.
All
Now
right.
get back to it.
Go away. I've got to go talk about Kaboom and Olivia Glisson.
We are going to get back to it in just a second. We were talking about Purple Warrior possibly being in penalty trouble. Well, Ironic has come back and says, no, she's only had 3.
Wow.
So she obviously did not have any
She
from
was
that
not.
first
Oh, my goodness.
half. People, though, who could be in trouble in the next 5 minutes, number 306, Little Rebels. She's sitting at 5 penalties. And number 9, Dragonfire with 5 as well.
See, and that is why we tell the announcers, if you're not sure and you don't know, don't say anything. And I just broke that rule because I was just,
Hey,
don't assume anything.
We're learning too, and just as we said Little Rebel's name, she is back in the penalty box. I did not see the call on that. And of course, the other thing to take note of is that once you start getting in a bit of penalty trouble, the referees also start paying even more attention to you because they know that something's not going on.
So now she has her 6th. That's a Little Rebel with her 6th.
We do have lead for Des Moines, and Little Rebel is with Des Moines, I should specify. Same with Dragonfire.
Now, that said, you were talking about Little Rebel and Batitude, Miss Batitude. You got to tip your hat to Miss Batitude because at the half, there was one skater with 5, and it was Miss Batitude.
Oh, no, Dragonfire.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dragonfire,
That's
not
totally
Miss Batitude.
okay. It's
Yes, it
all
was
good.
number 9. It is Dragonfire.
You're
so
right.
hats off to Dragonfire because at halftime, 16 minutes ago, she had 5. So she's played a clean second half.
Exactly. And Olivia Glisson has just been released from the pack, and she's decided to. Oh, and that is another penalty against Little Rebel. It was a out of play call. Essentially started engaging with the jammer while not in the engagement zone. And if that goes uncontested, that will be Olivia Glisson, or not Olivia Glisson's, rather, Little Rebels' 7th penalty. 4 points for Olivia on that. I'll be getting a little distracted by all the cowbell sounds we're hearing. Sort of more behind us. I think that's happening on the female division
No,
track.
I think it's over here, but I was what I was looking at is just to let everybody know in the last final game of the day over on the female track, it is currently 195 Seattle, 102 Angel City with 7 minutes and 49 seconds left to go in the second period.
And we have another official timeout. I'm going to use that to make one more big plug for the playoffs coming up here, the 2018 International WFTDA playoffs. They start August 31st through September 2nd in beautiful A Coruña, Spain, hosted by As Brigantias Roller Derby. And then we head to Atlanta, Georgia for our second playoff, hosted by Atlanta Roller Girls, September 21st through 23rd. So we've got August covered, we've got September covered, and then finally our 2018 International WFTDA Championships, hosted by Big Easy Roller Girls, November 3rd through the 11th in New Orleans, Louisiana. So tickets are on sale already for playoffs, and you can get those at WFTDA.com/tournaments. I feel like I should have that memorized by now, Al.
You'd think we would, but nah. We got so many things taking up spaces in our brain right now. But those of you out there listening to us, if you want to talk to us, send us a shout out. Send us something to #TalkToJRDA. You got questions about the awesome action you're seeing this weekend? Use that hashtag to chat with us on Twitter. And don't forget to follow JRDA on Twitter using @JRDA_rocks.
And they really do rock. It is manned by some of the staff who are making the calls as well. So You really are chatting to a live human being.
Actually, that's one of ours, I believe.
Sure is.
It is standby.
And we have a triple threat pointing, looking at things going on the track. Not feeling too much pressure. Des Moines at 2:31 right now, attack pack at 96. And the time now not working in the attack pack's favor. 2 minutes left in the game.
Yeah, we never like to say it's over, but yeah, you know, hats off to Attack Pack. They had there's a lot of adversity, a lot of stuff going on in this bout.
That's a really great way to put it. Adversity on both sides, on both teams. We had that injury in the first half, and that really, there was a change in tone in the game from that moment.
But you know, it changed the whole complexion, and it starts messing with your priorities in your head a little bit, because we went straight from that to talking right about Derby. And it did help once we found out that it does look like road rage is going to be okay. I mean, it's those of you out there wondering about him. I haven't got any other information. My apologies. If I get any more, look for me on Facebook. I'll shoot it out to you. Or if whatever we'll give you the. I'm sure Tommy Standby will tweet it out. We'll get anything that we hear. We will make sure that you hear, because I know that there's people out there.
And just to be clear, in no way am I disparaging the incredible talent and skill that we're seeing out there on the track. Olivia Glisson showing just perfectly what I mean by that, taking the inside track quickly for lead.
Olivia Glisson is pretty impressive individual as it is. As you see, I happen to be friends with people from Jacksonville that I talk to a lot, and Olivia's mom on Facebook, and you see Olivia for the last 6-8 months even or more has lived in the gym and at the skating rink training for this event. She has been all about getting ready for this event.
And Jamit Jacob now sitting in the penalty box, so that does give Olivia Glisson a power jam. She's getting a bit of an assist by one of her teammates there, number 108, Childs.
Good to see Childs back on the track. I didn't see when she came back on, but she went down earlier.
She was one of those skaters who appeared to have an injury, but was able to.
She was able to get off on her own, and she had to sit the mandatory 3 jams, and then she came back.
And Olivia now being chased down by Jamit Jacob. Olivia does have lead. She tries to pull some defensive maneuvers, and now they are getting physical with one another there. Olivia deciding, I'm not going to play your game. She's now at the top of turn 1. Meanwhile, Jamit Jacob trying to drag her back all the way to turn 3. Didn't quite work out there, but did chew up some time. The period clock has now come to an end. Jam still on. Perhaps that's why Olivia does not want to call it. Need to finish this jam off. And it does appear that will be the unofficial final. Of course, it's unofficial because the refs will consolidate, make sure that all the scoring is appropriate and their communication with the non-skating officials is all cleared and checked. I'll be right now filling out the brackets here. Of course, this game was for a spot in the finals. So the unofficial final score right now is Des Moines 233, Attack Pack 110. And what does this mean for the way that our brackets shake up?
All right, the way it shakes up, I'll go through tomorrow for you real quick. At 9 a.m., we're going to have Quad City in California playing for the 9-10 spots. At 11 a.m., we will have the Sirens of Savannah and Tampa playing for the 7th and 8th spots. At 1 p.m., we will have River City and Philly playing for the number 5 and 6 spots. At 3 p.m., we will have Mob City and the Attack Pack playing for 3rd and 4th spot. And then at 6 p.m., we will have Diamond City and Des Moines, the number 1 and number 3 seeds coming into the tournament, playing for the championship.
Wow, playing for the open division bracket here. There's so much that can be said about this game. It has been a roller coaster, but more than anything, it's been consistent talent out there on the track.
The whole, not just this game, but the whole weekend. I mean, even the 10th seed, you think, oh, they're the 10th seed. They're the 10th seed in the country.
You're still the best of the best.
Yeah, the talent level at this, and on any given day can do it. 10 could be. It's just so impressive. And I've been a junior roller. I've been preaching the gospel of JRDA for at least 3 years now, and wow, I'm just glad to be. I'm proud to be a part of it.
And I've really enjoyed this call with you, hearing your insight from the JRDA world, and understanding. I've said this a number of times too, that the word junior does not speak anything to their experience level. It's just there because of an age.
I have said this many times. The JRDA, we keep the juniors and the adults separated to protect the adults, not the juniors.
Just heading out there, and today I also heard an expression from a former JRDA skater, Logan, who was on this feed as well earlier. He calls it Derby IQ, and that's what we're seeing at the highest level here. Each and every one of these skaters showing that they know the pack and the track awareness, the ability and the agility on their skates is just impressive.
Absolutely, absolutely. So,
all right.
You ready to go?
I sure am. That is it for day 2 of the 2018 JRDA Open Bracket Division Championship.
We will see you tomorrow right here on WFTDA TV.